Drop the drummies, Greg. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Logan and welcome to the channel. Today, we are going to be reading Diary of Wimpy Kid Apocalypse, and I'm really excited to read this story because when I saw Apocalypse, the first thing that came to my mind was Greg in the ballistic missile, and that honestly is one of my favorite stories because it is the first story that I ever saw around 4 years ago, which got me hooked to these Diary of Wimpy Kid fanfiction stories just because they're so stupid. So I'm really hoping that we get the same energy from that story in Diary of Wimpy Kid, The Apocalypse. But we ought to be really careful filming this video because this is the third attempt at making this. Because there is just so many different stories with the exact same title. And it's just getting a little bit ridiculous now. So hopefully third time's the charm and we can get this video out because I haven't made another Diary of Wimpy Kid fanfiction story for about almost 2 weeks again. And I apologize for that, but let's waste no more time and get into the first page. Wednesday. Today felt like any other day. I missed the bus, forgot to pack my lunch, and was late for first period. Typical Wednesday for me, right? Riley and I were hanging out in the lunchroom when an announcement came over the intercom. At this time, all students of Plainview High are released for the day. Please contact parents as necessary. School buses will run their normal routes starting in 15 minutes. I had no idea what was going on. Mom and Dad were at work, so I called Roderick. Luckily, Roderick was able to give me a ride home. Apparently, he had been keeping up with the news, and a new viral outbreak had started to spread in some areas on the East Coast. I didn't understand what this had to do with us, but the more we listened on the radio, the more scared I got. Traffic was bumper to bumper, and things the emergency broadcast was saying about increased aggression and unpredictable behavior made the whole situation feel surreal. All the starting and stopping in traffic started to take its toll on Roderick's old van, and it started to overheat. I think Roderick was picking up on how scared I was getting. Greg, I know I don't say this a lot, but I appreciate you. We made it home to find Mom and Manny waiting for us. Mom said it looked like the outbreak was pretty serious, so Dad was out at the store stocking up on supplies. She said that we should prepare to live frugally, whatever that means. Right as she was telling us this, Aunt Linda called. She went into the other room, speaking in hushed tones. I could only make out parts of what they were saying. It seemed like Linda and her husband weren't able to get a hold of any extra food, and were worried about the coming days. Roderick, in another atypical gesture of altruism, offered to go look for supplies as well to help out the family. Mom seemed wary of the idea, but eventually gave in. I went along with him, as I still wasn't internalizing all that I was hearing on the news. Roderick and I spent the day hopping between various stores, but everything has been ransacked. Seeing the rows of empty shelves shook me to the core. Disappointed and empty-handed, we started the drive home. On the way, we came across an elderly woman standing in the middle of the road. We pulled over right up to her. She didn't move or react. Roderick honked and honked the horn, and she only seemed to stumble a little bit. Roderick and I shared a nervous glance and decided to see if she was okay. I got out to talk to her. Greg, get your ass back in the car. You're about to get eaten by an old lady. Oh my god. Okay. I'm scared for Greg, bro. I am scared for Greg. Holy shit. As soon as I stepped out of the car, she lunged directly at me. Roderick saw this and stepped on the gas, hitting her head on. I stumbled back into the van, hyperventilating. What the hell was going on? We sat there, stunned, until she crawled out from underneath the van. Unbelievably, she didn't even seem to pay us heed, and shuffled off down the street. Fuck this. We hightailed it home. I could barely think. Roderick had just nearly killed some old woman. He didn't seem to think the same, though. She was infected, Greg. I had no choice. I just saved your life. What was he talking about? Infected? Is he talking about the outbreak? That woman couldn't have possibly been exposed to the new virus. It's only occurring on the East Coast, right? Mom and Dad didn't take well to the news of what had happened on the way home. They seemed to side with Roderick. saying how unbelievably happy they were that I was okay. Dad especially seemed extremely worried about the implications and told Roderick and I to start barricading the doors. Barricading the doors? Somehow, hearing the words out of Dad's mouth made it finally click how dangerous this new outbreak was. Roderick and I got to work. I never felt my hands shake so much. Dad says that our food supply should last long enough to just bunker here until this all settles down. I'm not so sure. 3 weeks later. Well, our stock of food finally ran out today. I suppose this is when we follow Aunt Linda's example and end things on our own terms. I know that's morbid of me to say, but it seems to be reality. Hordes of people infected with the new virus overtook Plainview, and the town is now a wasteland. Mom and Dad tried to shelter Manny from what was going on inside, but it took a downward turn when they accidentally left the TV on during breakfast. Sheesh, Manny's gonna be terrified. Look at his face, man. Look at Manny. Anyway, Mom hasn't left her room in the past week. Physically, she's fine, but I think the death of Aunt Linda hit her especially hard. Dad has spent most of the time trying to comfort her, so Roderick and I have had to step up and take charge. Facing a lack of food, we had no choice but to venture outside for the first time since the outbreak. Luckily, we had Dad's old shotgun. It was a few minutes of driving before we saw our first infected. Stealing our nerves for the past week did nothing when confronted with the sight of an actual victim. Felt sorry for the bastard. Ooh, what the fuck? Nah. If I saw that in the middle of the road, I would not be scared. I'd be laughing my ass off. Look at this dude's hairline. Nah, what is that? What is that? This guy's got like 10 hairs poking out of his head. That shit looks hilarious. What are you talking about, Greg? From what we've heard on the radio stations still active, there's no hope of a cure for someone who's progressed to that stage. Logically, I know that killing one of them is an act of mercy, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it if the time comes. We kept driving and eventually came across an old grocery store. The coast looked clear, and neither Roderick nor I could see any movement. With no other options in sight, we headed inside. What's that scene from? I know it's from like a zombie film. Is it Zombieland? Like the first Zombieland where they go into the grocery store and then there's like a bunch of zombies and then they just start like messing them up. 'Cause that's what I'm thinking about right now. Hopefully we get some pictures to go with it too. That would look insanely funny. But let's get it. Part 9. Fuck. The entire store was empty. Ransacked. Roderick and I looked around for a few minutes, but the only thing we could find was a single box of frozen chicken wings. I remember how much I used to love these. What a cruel joke. We searched a little bit more, but couldn't find anything else. We started to head out, and had almost made it to the exit when our thoughts were interrupted by an unmistakable click of a gun being cocked behind our heads. Drop the drummies, Greg. Is that fucking Fregley? Nah, I know that fucked up hairline from anywhere. Fregley, what are you doing? For all we know, this guy could be holding a Nerf gun, for fuck's sakes. Like, it's Fregley. You can't take this goof seriously. Shocked, I dropped the box and held my hands in the air. There was no mistaking that voice. I don't mean any harm, Fregley. What are you doing here? Don't fuck with me, Greg. I have people of my own to take care of. Just like you, it's a dog-eat-dog world now, and I need those drums. Numbly, I kicked in the box. Fregley was inspecting it when we were all startled by a gruesome moan coming from the aisle right next to him. Instantly, I knew what it was. Oh, Fregley, you naughty man. I know exactly what that is too. Middle of a zombie apocalypse, he's still getting it. Okay. Honestly, I've never seen someone react as quickly as Fregley did. He immediately turned around and sliced off the zombie's arm with a machete. I haven't even noticed at first. Wasting no time, he finished it off with a killing blow to the neck. I stood there, stunned, and at first, no one spoke. I told you, Greg, there's no mercy out here. Unfortunately for Fregley, I noticed slightly too late that he had forgotten about something. Oh my god, it's the muddy hand! Fregley's done. Either Fregley or Roderick's gonna die, but I don't think Roderick's gonna die this quick. So Fregley's dead. As soon as we got in the car, I started freaking out. I had just seen Fregley die. I had no idea that the infection took hold that quickly. I couldn't believe it. Was he really turning as we speak? Roderick tried to calm me down. Greg, I'm proud of you, how you acted back there. It took guts, and I don't know if I could have done the same. Let's just head home. It feels too risky to be searching for food like this. I agreed, and it made me feel a little better. But our pity party was interrupted by a cacophony of undead groans and hisses suddenly erupting from the other side of the parking lot. Oh my, ploopy. Way to end a part though, really calling all of them a ploopy. A massive horde of zombies had just started pouring out of the store next to the one we had been in. The numbers must have been in the hundreds. Roderick immediately threw the van in gear, and we tore out of the parking lot. It was unbelievable how quickly the group of zombies was able to move. Even with Roderick flooring the gas of his old van, they were almost able to keep up with us. I was just worried that the van might overheat like it did the last time we had driven it. Luckily, it didn't, and we slowly pulled ahead and made it home safely. Albeit horrified, we ran inside, where Mom and Dad had been nervously waiting for our return. No, I missed the page! Fuck! Okay, so this is after the muddy hand grabs Fregley. Fuck, I completely forgot about this. Fregley jerked his leg back, but the damage was done. 5 bleeding nail marks were left imprinted on his calf. His eyes widening, he kneeled backwards and fell onto the floor. Almost immediately, he started seizing and foaming at the mouth. I grabbed Roderick and booked it out of there. I didn't want to stick around to see what would happen next. All this for a box of drummies. Okay, so that's what happens to Fregley. I was a little bit disappointed on how quick Fregley, they just got Fregley out of the story, but there we go, that makes more sense. Mom and Dad could hardly believe all that had happened to us. This was the first time we had seen someone infected up close. According to what happened with Fregley, the virus took hold extremely quickly once you were exposed. I gave Dad his gun back. It was obvious that I wasn't equipped to handle it. I couldn't even protect Fregley, ruthless as he was, from a measly infected, and he paid the price for it. Mom told me to go get some rest after the ordeal, but there was no way I was going to be able to sleep with how scared I still was. I guess it's a good thing I didn't. Ooh, what is this? Don't tell me that Fregley follows Greg back and then tries to get revenge on him. That would be crazy. I was interrupted by a horrifying scratching sound coming from my bedroom window. My worst fears confirmed. I looked over to see a rotting hand sliding down the glass. I screamed, and Dad rushed in. He took one look at the window and rushed outside with the gun. Face to face with the zombie, he emptied the clip into its head and torso, the flesh exploding all over my window. As Dad and I made contact after the undead figure stopped moving, the world seemed to turn in slow motion as I watched the previously hidden zombie tackle him from behind. Emerging from the bushes were multiple hunched figures, and more were coming from down the street. They actually kept up with Greg and Roderick and followed them home. Now, this is where Roderick dies, I'm calling it. Tears streaming down my face. I turned from the window and slid down against the wall. Dad was dead. Just then, Mom burst into my room, eyes wide open, as she witnessed the scene unfolding outside the window for herself. I heard Roderick yell from the dining room. He dashed into my room holding a baseball bat. Push the bed against the door. I'll hold them off if they start to break through. Dad left the front door open, and the kitchen is swarming. How do you forget to lock the door? Well, I guess you would want to come in quick, but come on, you can't be doing stuff like that. I took a second to gather my thoughts, and did as Roderick instructed. My focus was interrupted, however, by a sudden gasp from Mom. Oh shit, Manny was out there. Why is Manny out here? What is he gonna do? I'm genuinely confused on what Manny thinks he's gonna do. Mom lunged for the door, desperate to save Manny, but Roderick held her back. Tears streamed down his face as he prevented Mom from sacrificing herself to the horde. All we could do was wait. Eventually, the undead wails died down, and they slowly shuffled out the house. By the time we found Manny, there wasn't much of him left. Manny was fucking dead. Yeah, I think that was kind of obvious. Damn! Damn, man, he got murked. Where does arm go? Oh, look at his leg. Now that, what's up with his head, man? Did his head shrink or something, or did they just like eat his neck? That's weird. But there's only 2 more parts to this story left. 2 more parts. Man, this ending is going to be crazy. Mom let out a cry of anguish and stumbled back, reeling from the sight of Manny's corpse. Her baby boy, the light of her life, had been brutally taken from her. Crying, she ran outside to Dad's corpse. Roderick and I could only watch in horror from the window as she pried the gun from his already stiff hands. Alright, last part. Here we go. We only got Greg and Roderick alive. So, this is not looking too good. 10 years later. 10 years later? What? Damn. Well, I haven't written in this thing for a while. It's been too dangerous for journaling lately. Not that I've been entirely preoccupied with risk management anyways. Without Mom and Dad, Roderick and I haven't been able to do much but take survival one day at a time. Luckily, we ran into Rowley during scavenging mission one day, and he helped us give them a proper burial. Well, fuck me, how was Rowley alive, but nobody else? That makes no sense. Life has been rough, obviously. It's a goddamn zombie apocalypse, what can I say? Roderick and I both have had too many close calls for comfort, but we're alive somehow. The 2 of us and Rowley were planning to head west. We've heard rumors of a settlement of survivors and want to test our luck. I'm going to leave this journal in our house in case any others want to follow our tracks. If you're reading this, trust no one and follow the sun. Good luck. The end. Wow. Okay. Alright. Okay. I was about to say that was one of the best stories we've ever read, but I think I've said that a total of like 20 times in this entire series. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to say it was the best written story so far. I really did not expect Roderick to still be alive today, but apparently he's still alive. Fucking Rowley. Okay, Rowley does not make any sense on how this guy is still breathing right now. Rowley is so useless and just dumb. Okay, whatever. I'm just bashing Rowley for no reason. Like, he has done nothing to me, and I'm just roasting the hell out of him right now for no reason. I hope all you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Diary of Wimpy Kid fanfiction stories. Leave suggestions in the comments below, because I end up losing them in the other videos because there's just so many comments. Again, I hope all you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, depending what time you're watching it at. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.